Hi. Hi everyone, I'm sorry I'm late. I got distracted. I was reading a manga. Well, I wasn't reading the manga the entire time, but I found a really cool manga. I was reading it. I'm just like, I didn't want to put it down. Oh my gosh, hello everyone. We were gonna play Hollow Knight, and then Steam broke on me. Oh, what manga? It's this new series I found. Okay, so I found it on Twitter, and it had this like one panel of this dad being surrounded by his literal depressed family, and I was like, I want to see if this is a story about a terrible dad, and then I'll probably knock it off my list like the other manga about the terrible dad that I was reading. It's called Kimi wa Yotsuba no Clover, or You Are a Four-Leaf Clover. It's actually really good. When is Kin not late? To be fair, most of the time it's because I'm watching actually not even most of the time. Half the time it's either I'm watching a video or I found the manga that's really good at the moment, or a family thing came up. Can I be real with you guys? I'm gonna be real with you. Maybe it's just because of how the stream is set up. I think I might be moving things to 7 o'clock. By the way, is tits fixed? No. No. It's been let's just say it's been a couple hectic weeks and months and stuff like that, and I've been trying to finish things behind the scenes and stuff like that, and I've been trying to, but you know what? I'll allow it. I'll allow it next time because I don't like always having the HUD up. And it broke last time. It wouldn't make the background disappear for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Dang, Kendra, you took so long. I was about to realize my bathroom was dirty, clean it, and then put the cleaning rag in the laundry room. Can you listen to my song? Nope. Hello. But hello. It broke. Yes. Yeah, it broke. Like, it broke, and it would just constantly, like, have the things. What is it? It broke, and would constantly have, like, the mask be on all the redeems and stuff. And then when I opened it up on like, Wednesday. Not Wednesday. When I opened it up on Tuesday, it was like, oh, so it's just broken right now. I think I need to update it, and that's probably why, because it has been a hot minute, and I updated it last time, and it's probably just in the midst of having a new update. I'm just like, ugh. But oh well. Let me see. Not showing up in chat, and that's weird. What's up, Kendra? Just chilling after a day of work. To be fair, I was gonna chill with can I be real honest with you guys? I was kind of exhausted. I'm like, I wanna play games, but I'm also too tired. Hello, Icebox. Hello. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I'm just like, I was just, it's like I wanted to, but I was tired. Or at least more tired than I thought I was. I was just, I don't even know. I'm like all over the place for some reason. I think I'm still not following. Yeah, okay. That's why some of the redeems are turned off. Okay, so what happened was that a while ago, I added a new redeem to the bonk and the throw redeem. And what I wanted was a throw redeem, but I wanted multiple items to be thrown at me, kind of like what other VTubers have. And I was like, okay, I'll make it so it's like 2,000 points every single time. And I was really excited for that. But what ended up happening was that I don't know what I did, but when I put it into StreamerBot, it made it so that every command interacted via the mass redeem. So it wasn't like, oh, you could throw one item at me anymore, or you could hydrate, or you could tell me to hydrate. Every time you clicked hydrate, it would throw something. It would throw like 50 items at me because that was the limit. Every time you bonked me, it would override the bonk button, the bonk redeem, and it would throw all 50 items at me. And the thing was is that it was like, I didn't hate it. It was like funny at first, and it still is funny. Like, it'd be one thing if it was everybody having a redeem of like doing the throw redeem, and then like it was back to back, and then everybody wasted it because I already gave everybody like a five 50 throw redeem back to back and stuff like that. Like, I gave that as already like an option, but it just kind of sucked out the fun that every redeem was a throw redeem. You know what I mean? Especially when I did put a limit in between, so it just kind of sucked. See, the throw redeem does nothing. It broke, so it just so it is turned off. No, I just turned off tits in general. Just until I turned off tits in general, because after I tried going back and fixing it, I didn't touch it for a couple of days. And then when I was setting up the stream on Tuesday, the entire thing just kind of broke. I think I gotta update it, but I was too busy these past 2 days. And tired. I kind of passed out yesterday a little bit. I was in bed. I had enough energy to get to my bed and just pass out for 3 hours. Listen, I'm trying to be healthy, lose weight. That also requires eating less food than I usually do. And I'm not fat, but I don't want to get that fat. What the heck is it called tits? Because it's funny. It's funny. It's the Twitch integrated throwing system, otherwise known as tits. Meanwhile, my current manga obsession, If I Wonder If You Know, unfortunately, it's on indefinite hiatus since 2019 due to the artist's health. I don't know. I'm not familiar with any series currently in hiatus, unless you're talking about Slewer Slide Girl. Mostly because I'm really happy that a lot of people are talking about Slewer Slide Girl recently. You know the title. It's called The Arms Peddler. The Arms Peddler. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. The Arms Peddler. Ooh, it's giving Major Trigun. Ooh, I like it. I actually might get into this myself. No, this actually looks really tight. Well, I'm sure it was on purpose. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, nobody telling me that was not an on purpose. Listen, it's VTubing. Listen, tits came out at the top of VTubing. You know it was made on purpose. Back then, when the EN Sphere only came up with 2 jokes, sex and boobs. Booba. But how's everybody doing today? I know we couldn't do the game, which kind of makes me sad, but I'd rather have more energy playing the game eventually than not. But what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing on this fine colored day? That isn't the only series that I've been reading as of late, but I also wanted to talk to you guys about other things too, because I forgot to talk about 2 big things that happened in January. And I just kind of forgot. Oh my god. If I could have set up my webcam, I would have, but I don't want to dox myself as I set it up for stream beforehand. Oh my god. I don't want that, and I'd be doxing my size. And I don't feel like dealing with that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm sure it was on purpose. But yeah, no, what is it? I had 2 exams today and some assignments. I'm washed. Yep, that sounds about right. It is the school year after all. Making AI art. Also, I posted an Alco server. I did see those notifications. Checks how many times Ken has doxed herself. I have not doxed myself. I've been trying to be careful. I've been doing my best to be careful as much as I can. Oh my god. Are you sure? Listen. Taking Akko's advice. Mama Akko's advice. Even if I am, don't say anything. Oh my god. For those who don't know, there was an unofficial Kendra Daki on the server. Oh my gosh. Remember the Twitter photos you posted? To be fair, I got rid of those things a long time ago. They weren't even doxed photos. Well, they weren't even... No one will ever know. I ain't even getting into the specifics. Oh yeah, I got my 3 favorites for anime this season you might like. What? Okay, I haven't been watching it recently, but I would like to watch it probably for like Mondays and stuff. Because it's been like building up recently. I want to watch Kaya-chan. Kaya-chan isn't scary. She's so freaking cute, and the concept of yokai and ghosts and stuff like that are so cool to me. I love stuff like that. Better than Lumi accidentally posting not safe for work doing the Pokemusu Smasher. In fact, you know exactly what I'm referring to, just based on that proves my point. To be fair, it is a couple of years, and I thought I censored everybody's stuff, but it's been a long time, even if those photos are still up. Oh, Shiboyugi coward, what? Roll over and die, and the Holy Grail of Eris. Yes. Okay, I'm so happy everybody's getting into the Holy Grail of Eris. I remember picking up the manga back when it first came out. It is good. Coward, no Hollow Knight. Magma, you're late to stream, dummy. If you were not late, you would have known that Steam broke on me literally 2 hours before stream. One of the reasons why stream was delayed was because I had to do some things, a couple things beforehand. We have puppies again, so I gotta kind of monitor them as they wander around my bed and pee under there like they don't know what they're doing. And because I was trying to open up every application and I clicked on Steam and it loaded for a couple of minutes and just kept loading for over 30 minutes. I delete the tab because usually that fixes it, and then it just stopped, and it hasn't opened up ever since. Keep in mind, that's how I also open up VTube Studios. It was either reset the PC or just use the 3D mod. Tab? No, I mean it genuinely broke. Did you use the browser version of Steam? No. Nope. When I say that thing shut down, when I say that thing refused to open, it refused to open. Even Kendra's stream wanted a break, bro. Have you guys ever noticed why the world is kind of on fire right now? The animes this year will be straight fire. Kendra, this is the day and age people can find your location based on the reference of someone's eyeball. Any photo of the inside of your house has a decent chance of revealing your location. To be fair, this is true. Don't worry, I'm still trying to be careful and stuff, but I also don't want to be stupid. I don't want to be stupid and let somebody find my location and stuff, but I don't want to be a coward and scared all the time with it, right? I'd rather just get a bunch of blackout curtains and then it'll be you don't know exactly where my window is and you're never gonna find out. Posted in the anime zone why you like why you would like Shibo Yugi. It's just the art style of the eyes. Let me see. Shibo Yugi. I don't think I saw that. I know Holy Grail. I know I was paying attention to like Holy Grail of Eris and Stampede, which I need to read Stampede. Anime zone. Ooh. Shibo Yugi. Oh, is that the Death Games? Is that the game with the is that the anime with the girl who does the Death Games to put food on the table? That one I've actually been eyeing, but like not like seriously. It's like, oh, I think the female lead is really, really pretty. Nice! That's the one with like the really pretty female lead. Not scared, just paranoid. It's like I gotta be careful, so I'm gonna be careful, but at the same time, can even your house internal structure can dox you. I know. That's why. Dang. Somebody does listen. She also has heterochromia. Yes, I did see that. I think what's interesting about the anime is the fact that it has this weird 3D-ish feel to it. I think it's just the way they shaded and did it. Wait a minute. Is that the same studio that did... Is this Studio Gohands? Please tell me this is Studio Gohands. Please tell me this is Studio Gohands. Please. Oh, okay, no, never mind. Dang. I was kind of hoping it was Studio Gohands. I just love how uniquely abysmal their animation is. Studio Dean, actually. Ah, okay. I'm like, dang. Like, I like Studio Dean. Studio Dean is creative. But, I just like it when Studio Gohands is like, you know what? Here's your highly detailed anime that makes no sense in the world of anime, and you're gonna like it. Oh my god. Public records are not your friend. I literally got a letter today with a picture of my house and the envelope and the letter an accurate floor plan of my house. To be fair, I don't blame you. There's been this one neighbor that's been harassing us recently, being like, your sprinkler sprinkled mud on the sidewalk. Someone could trip. Well, we were like, okay. We were like, okay. Like, mud on the sidewalk. It's like someone could slip on the sidewalk. And it's like, just walk around it. You're a grown man, aren't you? I'm just like, okay. Oh my gosh. I just heard that this morning. Because I was like talking with my family members and they were like, yeah, no, this guy came over and was like, hey, you got mud on your sidewalk from your sprinklers. And it's like, okay. Oh my gosh. But, I want to talk to you guys about something. Okay. So I was like super tired on like Tuesday because I wanted to talk about so many things, and then I ended up forgetting some things. Guys, my sister did the coolest thing. My sister did like the coolest thing a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so it was near like the top of January, right? And she knows like I work and stuff. I don't really go out. I mostly like draw and work on VTuber stuff. And she knows about like my VTubing activities, and she was like, hey bro. She was like, hey bro, I want to take you somewhere special. And cause she knows like, what is it? So she and I, cause I guess it was because we just we still see each other every day. But the thing is, though, is that she's more, if I have to say it kind of like this, my sister's kind of more adult than I am. She, like, does her own, she, like, has her own place, she pays her own bills, and she still, like, again, she still helps and, like, comes around and stuff, but, like I said last time, for a long time, I had forgotten what my sister was like until we all got together on Christmas and played games together, and I was like, oh man, I miss this so badly, and we, like, reconnected, and again, a ton of, like, family stuff, like, happened, and we were just like, I'm so happy we, like, got to talk again and stuff. It just became, thank you, Wolfspay, for becoming a sponsor. Kendra, can you say, money please? In a begging tone. You kind of remind me of that Latina woman from the Parks and Recs. What Parks and Recs? I've only ever heard of the name of Parks and Recs. Is it similar to The Office? I've never really watched live action shows outside of Law and Order and game shows as a kid. Yeah, no, just Law and Order and game shows. Law and Order game shows and Uptown Girls. Those were my favorite live action things as a kid. Anything that wasn't on the Disney Channel, that was on my mom's channel, just enjoy and get invested with that. Get cooperative. Hold up. Dude. What? I got bit? What did I get bit? Weird. Okay, that was weird. Weird. Okay. I probably got hit by a mosquito. I know I killed a bunch of big ones a couple of days ago. Did you use what is it? Oh wait. I'm looking at the YouTube version and it's like super delayed and Magma was like, did you use the browser version? I'm like, what? Well, Ken got bit by a vampire. Fleas. No, I actually, thankfully, because we ended up clearing out the house and constantly vacuuming and all that type of stuff, and, you know, obviously putting the stuff on the dogs and stuff, we got rid of, I think, like, a vast majority of them. I think the last time I saw a flea was, like, around 4 or 5 weeks ago, and they were babies, so it was likely they, escaped the bombs, and then we killed them. But for the most part, we've been avoiding a lot of them, thankfully. I've been making sure. I get little phantom ticks on my feet every once in a while, though. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, so we, like, reconnected and stuff, and my sister, we both try and stay in tune with what we like, but she's more, you know, again, she's the one who usually goes out and does all the fun stuff, and so she usually is able to, like, find these things, like, better than I am, and she was like, bro, guess what? There's this they opened up a Nintendo store in San Francisco, right? And the thing is, I know what that is. She doesn't know what that is. She doesn't know what that is, right? Bug bomb the house. They did. She doesn't know. Okay, so she knows what. So for those that don't know, they opened up so there's this thing called Nintendo New York, and Nintendo New York is basically where you get exclusive Nintendo, like, special Nintendo merch in New York. And it's where they, like, do the game premieres, the Smash premieres, all that type of stuff. And my sister had been eyeing it for a while because she's a travel, like, junkie. Well, she was a travel junkie, like, last year and stuff. And she's like, okay, I gotta stop that. I'm running out of money from all the traveling. And so she was like, okay, I need to do a day trip with you. And we had to delay it, like, a couple of times because everybody's, like, been so busy and the trip was, like, super long. It would have, like, taken, like, maybe 2 or 3 days because, like, because it was, like, crowded. It was, like, crowded when they apparently did, like, the grand opening and she just so happened to be passing by. Oh my gosh. And so we, like, took a day trip we like took a day trip. Not a day trip. We took like a day trip. What is it? We like took a couple of days to go, and then we just spent the day in like San Francisco just talking and catching up and doing all that type of stuff. Oh, we were so happy talking together. And then we just had fun together. It's just so much fun talking with her and stuff like that. A day trip is not a day trip, but not a day trip. It's because we just decided to spend a couple of days together and just have fun, and then go to San Francisco, and then just set up somewhere, and then eventually drive back home for a couple of hours. And then just talk and have fun and stuff like that. She's when I say like, okay, so like I like talk and sound like I'm reminiscing. My sister for a long time was my best friend. I've talked about it here on like stream sometimes. When I was younger, I was bullied, but not like physically. I was like mentally and isolated and stuff like that, because people, I don't know why, they just always like isolated me. And the one thing my mom recognized was that she told me and my sister, if you're gonna have anybody in your life, do not abandon each other. You two are your own best friend. And we ended up finding out the reason why because of like old family things that happened in her past. And even though we had a couple of rough patches, I can't really remember a time where we had a serious fight, even though we've had close calls. But for the most part, we're pretty close, and we try our best to understand each other. Even though she has her life, I'm like, girl, I know you just got back home, but please stay safe. We're kind of like that. Hey Kendra, did you see all that's happening with Bent? Nope. A day trip, but not a day trip. Got it. But pretty much, what is it, Kendra? Did I tell you about breaking stream, young lady? And so what ended up happening, and my sister was, I don't really know. It's weird because it's like you know about your sister or you know about your sibling when you get home, and stuff like that compared to their school life. From what little I know about her experience in school life, she was usually the extrovert, but she had her problems too. One person tried to bully her. They tried. I think I talked about this story one time. So this one little white girl, and I'm saying it like that because she was a little white girl. This one little white girl, we had like transferred to this one Christian school at one point because it's just where we were trying to support like this church and stuff like that, and we knew the people there, so we could like transfer there. Long story short, we don't go to that church anymore. But what happened was that some of the members there, their kids, how should I put this? The members there heavily criticized us. They didn't do a lick to their children. And so what ended up happening was one of the kids there, we'll call them Rebecca, because oh my gosh, did she act like a Becky. She got mad at my sister because one of the other pastors had this one son, and he actually was a pretty handsome kid. He was younger than me. He reminded me of a brother. I really didn't care about his looks and stuff like that. I could say that really for a lot of the boys at every church we've ever been to. What ended up happening, what ended up happening was that this girl, she liked one of the boys who was like the younger son of one of the pastors. And what ended up happening is she got mad at my sister because he liked my sister. And my sister is really, really pretty. She's like supermodel pretty. And what ended up happening was she tried picking on my sister and isolating her. And we didn't notice it at first, but she was just like, okay. And what ended up happening was that later on, this was around the time where everybody started kind of picking up on it. She I don't know how it happened, but I remember something happened to where she tried to stand up to me. Now, I'm known as somebody who's like really chill. By this point, I went from someone who cried from being bullied to I'm no longer being bullied, but if I didn't have God on my side, and I still do, and I still say this to this day, if I did not have God on my side, I would have gone to jail. And you think I'm joking about that, but there are very many times where I was just like, you know what? If I didn't have consequences in this life, regardless of if it's a simulation or not, I would throw a punch at you. And so what happened was that she tried standing up to me and bucking up against me, trying to be all big and bad. And the teacher could literally see it in my face because I was about to stand up and sock this girl in her face. And she was like, "Hold up, everybody." And she stopped it. She stopped right then and there. She thought she was big and bad, but we're dealing with a little white girl who's never had to actually deal with some actual black people because she thinks everybody else is a little white girl like she was. We haven't really heard from her since. Let's just say she gained a little weight later on. What is it? Kendra's sister kept all the pretty. No, I'm pretty too. I think I'm trying to be a lot cuter than what I am, but my sister definitely got, how should I put this? My mom talks about it all the time because she started showing us some of her old photos. My sister looks dead on like my mom when she was younger. And then she said that, my sister took all the skinny. She took all the skinny as soon as she was born. And then now I look more like my mom now that I'm older. Well, I always looked like my mom since I was little. So much so, we used to have like this old photo, right? Apparently my face and her face are recessive. We had this old photo when we were younger. And for years, I'm telling you, since I was like 5, ever since I could remember that photo, every time we went to our grandma's house, every single time, I thought it was my mom in her younger years. Around like 16, 18 or something, she literally was like, "That's not me." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It looks dead on like you. Every single pixel looked like my mom. And she's like, "Yeah, no, that's not me. That's one of our older relatives." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh. I'm kind of scared now." When I say when I say genetics were scary, I mean genetics are scary. Oh my gosh, he's a brony. Oh. And now Kendra looks like Kendra. To be fair though, I'm trying to get back to the weight I really want to be. Because I'm not fat, but at the same time, you know COVID weight? Where you just eat a bunch of junk food because you can't go out and you don't feel like cooking every single time? We kind of had something like that, but obviously because there was like financial stuff happening in the past with our family, I was like, all right, we need to get fast food that lasts more than last at least like 2 days a piece. And the one thing that did that was like Popeyes. And so our family would just do that while they ate their thing, because again, that's what we could. And so I realized, not going outside and properly exercising, along with being really bad at push-ups, kind of made me a little, a bit too fat, or at least more fat than I want to be. Oh my gosh. And so I'm trying to be pretty skinny. I gotta be pretty. I'm not gonna be supermodel skinny, but I do kind of want that Bon Cubon body. Google that. You will understand exactly what I mean. It's always relationship fights over a boy or a girl. Someone's gonna die tonight. You were right. Like I said, I look back on my life and it's like, wow, I really could have socked you if I wanted to. In fact, I do actually remember a time where I actually thought about socking this one tiny little black girl, but I actually genuinely had to think about it. Like, I thought about it for a good like a good 5 seconds before I just left to draw. I have always been fortunate, only been bullied a few times in my life. My bullying was, again, isolation and stuff like that because I wasn't in the in crowd. I don't know what would have made me in the in crowd. I would just be like, hi, and then I would go, and then I would just kind of stay by myself. and then I would tell my mom, and then they would get in trouble and cry. I don't feel any sorrow. At least now that I'm older. Back then I was like, man, I didn't want to get them in trouble. Now that I'm older, I'm like, nah, you deserve it. You're 5. Go away. You should have known better. All the food goes to the antlers, nothing to the sapling. Now you first off right over there. First off. That's normal, Kendra. I don't got a picture of my great-grandfather, but my dad, uncles, and aunts swear I look like him. Listen, genetics are scary. I've been picked on a lot. Everyone says stop reacting, but it never works. It makes people try harder. That's the thing. It's like, stop reacting, because like I never really reacted, but I was a target and I could tell. I don't even know what I did. I just would be I would just be friendly. I guess maybe I was overly friendly. Maybe the only thing I could think of is that I was the teacher's pet, but I didn't really like I liked all my teachers because I recognized that they were working hard, and most of them were mean. And then by the time of middle school, by then I discovered anime. I had to keep it a secret though a little bit. My mom was like, no more anime. I don't know why, but whatever she saw when she Googled it, I don't know. This was back in the early 2010s. Who knows what she saw? She just knew I was way too obsessed with Pokemon or something. I don't know. More like teacher's plant. They got told on worst thing could happen to any human being ever. I think that's the one thing. I think one of the reasons why, because like by the time I was a teenager, I had stopped going to school because my mom took me into homeschooling. Why is the sapling not growing, Kendra? Because I didn't rig it to do that yet. It'll do it eventually, maybe. But yeah, it kind of sucks that way. You just kind of gotta suck it up. But I think one of the best things that happened was that our mom just stuck up for us. When my sister had issues, she stuck up for her. When I had a lot of issues, because again, I was a frequent target, my mom stuck out for me, and she would genuinely have meetings with the teachers and stuff like that, to like stop the kids and stuff. What is it? I told you guys about. I've already told you guys about the push-up bra story. I was still so shocked about that because I was like, I don't even really care about boobs like that. But because you're upset. I didn't even really care about boobs like that until I got into anime. I just hated the fact that I had to wear a sports bra because sports bras were too tight. And I'm just like, dang. So what is it? The one thing I always hated, sports bras and t-shirts. I literally would try my hardest every single freaking day to avoid like getting out of the house with 0 t-shirts and sports bras as much as possible. Ironically enough, the bras were more comfortable when I could actually fit those. A lot of info about Dear Mom, but nothing about Dear Dad. That is a long, long story that we're not going to touch. Just know that, yes, he is alive. That's a big old can of worms. There is a long, long, long can of worms. Even a full stew instead of t-shirt? Milk? Oh, no. Like I said, okay, I won't get into the very detailed specifics about Dear Dad. Just know that he is absolutely alive. He is still in my life. A lot of things happened. let's just say, yeah, there's a long story of how I'm still sane after everything that's happened in my life and my family's life. Life is full of amazingness. Life is stupid. But yeah, no, he's still pretty chill. My mom says I get a lot of his personality from him, and every time we talk, yeah, I can see it a lot. Kendra won't give us the juicy details. Fascinating. It's nothing like super extreme. It's everything that came after it, though. I can tell you one funny story, though. What is it? When I was younger, we would like visit him sometimes and stuff like that, right? So there's your tiny hint of like what happened and stuff. We would visit him, and the thing is that this was back in the day. He would like frequently, this was back in the day when cigarettes were more popular and stuff like that. Sometimes he would like let us ride in the back of the truck and stuff like that, because he used to have this like, was it a pickup truck? Is those what those called? The trucks where you can like, where people like used to ride in the backs and stuff, right? Like we used to like ride in the back of the trucks every once in a blue moon and stuff like that. It was so like fun and stuff. I loved it. But he wouldn't let us do it all the time because I found out as I was older and kind of felt like it was even when I was younger because of the way he would like talk about it. The way he would like reject the idea every time we would try and ask outside of the blue moon and stuff. Truck bed. Yes! What is it? It was illegal and stuff like that, which again, I found out years later, but kind of knew that was the case even as a younger, as like a kid and stuff. Back in the day, he used to like smoke a bunch of cigs and stuff like that. And what ended up happening was, it's one of the reasons why I get sick with smoke to this day. So you get this, I get car sick. One of the reasons why I get as car sick as I do is because of him, because he used to smoke cigarettes. And one time he was smoking cigarettes at night, and he wouldn't smoke it around us and stuff like that. He was a really good dad. He was a good what is it? To put it in a way that makes sense, he was a good dad. It's just, you know, sometimes things don't work out. And he would try and not like smoke or drink when we were like around. Again, really, really good dad. Just things happen. That's how I found out when I was older. And I used to like be super depressed and stuff when he was in there. But like what ended up happening is he forgot to close the window one day. And as we were like sleeping in the other room, I could smell the smoke in my sleep. And I just remember waking up to vomiting. I was like, oh crap! And I was like, Dad, I threw up because of the smoke. And I was hoping, ironically enough, I was hoping that would like get him to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll take the cigarette out. And so he comes into the room and he's like, dang, you threw up. And my sister's like asleep, like on the other side of the bed. and what ended up happening is he just gets a towel. He wipes the throw up. He gets another towel, puts it over the stain, and he just closes our door. And I'm just like, well. I just go back to sleep. Problem solved. Oh, yes, it was. Oh my gosh. There's another. I would tell that story, but that ended up being revealed like a couple years later, and what is it? I remember there was a lady that came over. And I remember I'm like, oh, you kind of look like, I literally, keep in mind, we had a different friend who looked similar to this lady, and I thought it was her for so many years, until like I talked about it with my mom. And she like came she like would come a couple of times, and we would always like close the door every time she like came and stuff, and like just like watch cartoons and stuff. Funnily enough, going to my dad's was exactly how I found out about Inuyasha, which ironically enough helped me years later in identifying like anime as a concept to me when I like got older, like around like 12 or like 11 and stuff. And what ended up happening was that she gave my sister a birthday card, and I don't know how I picked up on it, but I'm like, she's trying to suck up to us. I don't know why, but we'll take the money. Ironically enough, she gave my sister a birthday card, and I kind of laughed at her a little bit, being like, you spelled her name wrong. Those were some memories. Steam name should be Kendra's Family Lore. The family lore is funny. The family lore is Kino. The early 2000s, before I knew what the real internet was, just played Winnie the Pooh point and clicker games. I didn't even know what YouTube was back then. You know what's really funny? Back in the day, okay, you know that one Illuminati music everyone plays back then? Though, you know, the do-do-do-do-do. I remember my family was one of the first people to hear that, and I used to like joke about how that was the Illuminati music, and then years later, I found out it was it really was the like meme Illuminati music, like by pure coincidence. Cause like, you know, back then Illuminati jokes were like, Illuminati jokes? Cause like, what is it? Yeah, no, like Illuminati jokes were like even made like back when like 3rd, 2nd grade and stuff. Say, camera, I was able to watch Inuyasha at my grandma and cousin's house because my parents were like hots. No. So what happened was that when we were little and we would go to our dad's place, our mom, so, like, you guys remember the Adult Swim story, like the Robot Chicken story I told you about, how I always knew to stay away from Adult Swim because I encountered Robot Chicken once, not even because I wanted to watch Adult Swim, just because I just so happened to click on Robot Chicken, and then I got spooked, and then I never touched it again. Even when we went to, like, our dad's house, we didn't really do all that type of stuff. We listened to our mom because she gave no reason for us not to trust her. And the only series that we really, cause she's pretty liberal with it. She was just like, she wasn't like the weird parents that were cringe and gay about SpongeBob being the devil. She was just like, it's SpongeBob. It's a sponge that can talk. What's gay about this? Cause my mom grew up around like really crazy. She like grew up with like actual fanatics. Like there was one time the person like who raised her, they literally were like, yeah, cat dog. You know cat dog? That's what hermaphrodite is. That's what my mom had to grow up with. So seeing stuff like SpongeBob and stuff like that was like, and she really liked SpongeBob and stuff. There were some things we didn't watch, like Wizards of Waverly Place and stuff, because again, she gave no reason for us not to trust her. Also, hello, Sparky. Oh, I guess I'm not the only person who remembers the Winnie the Pooh computer games. I do. The Christopher Robin's birthday. But yeah, no, she gave us no reason not to trust her. And so we just never went on like the adult channels unless she was there, because it was more fun to watch that type of stuff as a family, and whatever my mom was okay with, we were okay with. Even now, that's kind of still the same thing. That's one of the reasons why I was like really shocked that my mom got into death games, because I didn't think for the longest time she would like death games because death. But she did like stuff like Scandal though. She did love stuff like Scandal though. She loves her daytime dramas. And so what is it? What happened was that as we were scrolling, you know, obviously stuff like King of the Hill would pop up. But one time in the middle of the night, because we were watching, I think, like Disney Channel, we had to like change the channel because it was like a show we didn't want to watch, or it was a show we couldn't watch. I think it was Inuyasha I encountered. It was Inuyasha that I encountered. It was specifically the episode where Moroku shows up. And what ended up happening was that I ended up watching that entire sequence of Naraku putting the black hole in Moroku's hand. And it was like such a big impression on me because I never knew something like that could have happened or that type of storytelling was possible. And my sister, she was kind of like, I don't like this. I want to change the channel. And I was super invested. I never even got the name of the show, but I was super invested and wanted to like go back. But I think it was because of, because this was like early Toonami and stuff, because I think Toonami was only on Saturdays, and not on Sundays. I never saw the show again because I didn't keep track of the dates and stuff like that, compared to say like Disney Channel and Cartoon Network and all that type of stuff. And I was like, dang. And for years, I'm talking like years, all the way from first grade to 6th grade. I never forgot that specific scene because it burned itself into my memory from how, like, it was so burned into my memory that when I ended up finding a girl who told me about the show and I ended up watching the series for myself, beat for beat, line for line, I could not forget. Except the part where Moroku touched Kagome's butt. It just made so much of an impression on me. I will say though, I thought Inuyasha was a cat boy for like a long time because of the way the ear, because like back then when I was a kid, I didn't know dog. I always knew dogs had floppy ears, cats had dogs had droopy ears, cats had pointy ears. So I was like, right, cat boy, because I was new to anime. I didn't know about cat boys. I probably shouldn't have watched Fully Cooley and Paranoia Agent as early as I did because of Adult Swim. To be fair, I think what's the funny thing is that because I was getting into anime and because I had that instinctual like, if like I would trust my mom no matter what, I always still tried to curate my anime to be akin to what my mom would probably have wanted me to watch. But because I wasn't really taking these series to my mom was like, what is this? Don't watch it. And of course, because again, I was super obsessed and really fascinated with anime, I would sneak it, and then eventually I would get caught, and then eventually I got my stuff taken. It happened at least once a year for a little bit. Nowadays, she still doesn't understand it fully, but it's definitely a lot more chill now than it was like back then. And the thing was, she knew I was like super obsessed about Japan and stuff like that. I've told this before, I was born there, I got like the info and everything, but I don't remember a lot other than what foods, because like I do know like my palate still kind of remains the same, where I do still have a lot of like Japanese like cuisines still inside, like that touch my taste buds, and I can really like point out like, oh, this tastes amazing, this reminds me of like Japan. And she obviously has her own recipes that she like made when she stayed there at one point. Kendra, are you sneaking out to watch Pikachu show again? Oh no! So, it's kind of weird how it went. When I was younger, I used to be a super mega Pokemon fan. Oh, hi, Soul Dipper! Thank you for the raid! Everybody go follow Soul Dipper. I'm shouting him out. Ooh. Shut up, Soul Dipper. Soul Dipper. Soul Dipper. Soul Dipper VT. Oh, there's the puppies. They're fighting. I brought the puppies to my room. I brought them to my room. Senua. There you go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And what ended up happening? What happened? Well, yo, I'm talking about my old, like, childhood memories and stuff. I like how this went from talking about Nintendo San Francisco to this. Oh, I'll get back to the San Francisco bit. I'll get back to that eventually. What ended up happening was that, I used to be, like, super heavily into Pokemon as a kid, even before, obviously, anime and stuff like that, and I loved Pokemon. And one of my favorite Pokemons as a kid was Zoroark and all that. And what ended up happening was, I think my mom, I don't know how or why, I can speculate, but there was a time where my mom was, like, kind of like, no more Pokemon. I don't know why, again. Who knows? It was a long time ago. But for the most part, she caught me one time because I would get up super early for Pokemon because I was kids. You know how kids are. They'll be like, I don't really want to do the activities like church and stuff, but I do want to get up at 5 a.m. because Cartoon Network's airing Pokemon at 5 a.m. And I would do that. I would do that. And so eventually I started collecting the cards even though I didn't know how to play. But eventually I had to get rid of them because I think, again, I can only speculate, but the conclusion I came to that was the most charitable interpretation was likely she saw that I was getting obsessed and stuff like that. And I was kind of developing an obsession, just a teeny bit. This was around the time Black and White also came out. So it's one of the reasons why I say, like, I was a huge Pokemon fan as a kid, but as I got older, I'm not as big of a fan as I used to. I still love Zoroark though. Throw redeem unavailable. That's because you were one of the reasons why I had to. You're one of the reasons why the tits broke. You're one of the reasons why the tits broke. This is the worst news I've ever received. Listen, I'll fix it eventually. Eventually. And then eventually I got into anime and stuff where I was like, oh, so Pokemon's in anime too. And then eventually I rediscovered my love of Digimon because I used to love Digimon as a kid. But ironically enough, because I've told you guys about the story of like Digimon, when Digimon used to air on like Jetix and stuff, right? This is showing my age so much. Back then with like Jetix and stuff. And then what ended up happening was why the heck is throw unavailable? So, tits broke. TLDR, tits broke. I gotta fix and recalibrate and probably update it. That's literally it. Too silly for my own good. This is true. Oh, Ken's tits broke. Yeah, that's usually how it works. Oh my gosh. And what ended up happening was that, I ended up getting into Digimon again, and this is also how I got into Beyblade, the Metal Saga, because at the time, my mom had a Netflix account, and she shared it with everyone, and at the time, they had introduced Netflix Kids, and so we had the kids account, and they had the adult account, and on Netflix Kids, they had a bunch of VeggieTales, so we obviously watched that. And they had a couple of other cartoons that we were able to watch on there as well. And they also had Digimon and, of course, Beyblade, the Metal Sagas, all 3 seasons. And me and my sister just binged the entirety of Beyblade. Oh my gosh, we just binged all of Beyblade. That series is so freaking stupid. It was amazing. Oh, I talk about it all the time. Ryuga is so freaking funny. Oh my gosh. It's one of the reasons why I talk about how eventually, just like the Lab Rats Marathon, we will be doing the Beyblade Marathon, because Beyblade is just too funny. It's too funny to not let people like embrace and experience this craziness. Again, everyone talks about how Moses parted the Red Sea. No one talks about how they tried to sell a Beyblade nuke to the highest bidder. Oh my gosh, there was so much that happened in that series. But also, back when I was younger, Digimon Tamers was what was on air. But Netflix had the genuine original seasons of Digimon and Digimon 2 on there, and we watched all of it. Me and my sister. And Digimon 2, Digimon was just really, really good. And then what ended up happening was my sister wanted to rewatch the series, and then my mom came into the room and she was like, Kendra, explain to your sister why what Digimon is. And I tried to explain, and she was like, they're the same, and then she removed the TV from me. Because we had the TV in our room, but apparently because we were watching, again, there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I'm finding out now that I'm older, that I'm just kind of like, maybe that contributed to a lot of it. Oh, I'ma head out. I got work tomorrow. Bye, bro. Bye. First ever on the KK station. Beast dislocation. Restless location due to blunt force trauma. This is true. This is true. Like I said, a lot. Look, what is it? You hear like these like Twitter and Instagram stories of people learning more about the family lore and stuff like that. Every day we learn little by little about the family lore and stuff like that. And then I realize, dang, same like the ones who dip souls. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Mirai. Bye-bye. But yeah, no. What is it? We still really loved it. Ironically enough, my phone, I would just watch anime on my phone every time I had my phone. Ironically enough, we don't talk about it. Oh my gosh. Again, but this is gonna sound like all funny stories, and then it's just gonna be like, oh, yeah, no, that's trauma dumping when you really look back at it. Oh my gosh, let's not get too deep into it. I'm gonna end up actually just trauma dumping without realizing it. Let's just say my anime years were formative, yet traumatizing at the same time. I still went after it though. Oh my gosh, it's one of the reasons why I love Penguin Drum, because I sought it out because it was one of the few anime I wanted to finish. But getting back to Nintendo San Francisco. So me and my sister, we took a couple days, drove around to be with the people and stuff like that, and then eventually we finally got to like our stop at Nintendo San Francisco. It might be a good idea to fix the YouTube shout out at some point. Yes, don't worry, I will. I think part of it is also because Soul Dipper has a YouTube, but I might be wrong. What are you fighting for? What are you doing? Get over here. More break stories? Well, it was break stories. Yes, hi Kinch family. Oh no, this is the puppies. This is Patricia. And this is Barry. Still family. True. Say hi to Patricia. She's the one that's crying right now. Yeah? Say hi to Barry. Barry's super quiet. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Aw, they're cute. I saw, earlier, Wolfsbane, you said you wanted the name of the breeds of the dogs if you're still here. They're little sheepoos. Well, we'll get to that part of the story from the break in a little bit. But basically, we went to the Nintendo San Francisco, and I was so I was excited, but I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna spend money here, ha. Bros, when I say the items in there were actually really good, the items in there were a little bit too good. I had to hold myself back a lot. Because what happened was that I wanted to buy clothes because a lot of the clothes I own are still from when I was in middle school.
Like, a lot of the clothes I have are still from, like, middle school because we never really went out.
There's, like I said, there's a lot of...
Yes! Yes!
Did you take any pictures? I wanted to, but because I also know that I'm not stupid on this platform, I wasn't gonna post any of them. My sister took the majority of them. I'm not really a picture person. I never really was the type to like take pictures and stuff like that. Oh. Kendra, you so short, your stuff from middle school still fits. Actually, no. Like I said, when I say a lot of things happened between the time I started homeschool till now, I think around like 5 or 6 years ago, let's just say we never really left the house, which also means we never really got a lot of clothes, which means that we only really went to church and then back home and then the occasional family vacation. There's a lot of stuff that happened in between that I'm not going to talk about. But let's just say, TLDR, we never really went clothes shopping outside of church stuff until we actually started kind of breaking down that mold in the last 4 or 5 years. And so what ended up happening is that a lot of the clothes I own, I kept because even as a kid, I was like, oh, I love these clothes so much. When I have kids, I'm gonna give these clothes to my kids because I actually genuinely thought they were really, really cute. Problem is that I have all the clothes I want to pass down to my kids, and I can't really wear anything because none of them fit me anymore. Because, as you all know, I don't. As you know, guys, from the Pusher Bra story, I was a bit too big for my size. Cool 3D model. Hello, memorable man. Alright, I'm not gonna talk a lot. Gotta do my taxes. Tax away, bro. Tax away. TLDR, don't worry about it. Hello, Rhine Wings. Yeah, basically none of my clothes fit me because my middle school sizes are not comparable to my adult sizes. Taxes are optional. Here's Kuma's gold card. Have fun. But basically what ended up happening was that I was like, you know what? Even if it's dumb branded stuff, at least it'll be cute branded stuff that I'll have for myself. And so I've got a couple of hoodies and some t-shirts and stuff. And I got a couple of like badges and stuff. There was like a little Kirby section. Rose, the wall of amiibos. The wall of amiibos, bro. I'm not as into amiibos as I used to, but the wall of amiibos and the Switch 2 stations. It was like, man, if this was like me over 5 years ago when I used to be a Nintendo freak, oh, I would have eaten this up so badly. Oh my gosh, I would have eaten it up so freaking badly. Oh my gosh. To be fair, I still have a shirt from elementary school that still fits. Unfortunate, well, you see, you're a guy. That's it. I wait Kuma's Akasuka. What? Oh my gosh. He's very big on me at the time though. True. Unfortunately, I was the tall girl in my family before now. Now I'm just the average sized woman. My sister got the tall gene. She prayed I'm not even kidding, she prayed to God and was like, God, make me tall. And then all I could hear for the next couple of years after that is my knees hurt. Oh my gosh. And so what ended up happening was we got a bunch of I got some clothes. I got like a little Pikmin sweater. I got a Kirby hoodie. I got a Roost, like the Animal Crossing, like the Booster's Roost hoodie. And I got like a little Kirby shirt. I've been wearing for the past couple of days. I got some like Kirby enamel pins. They're so good. There's like one with the gourmet race and stuff, and like one in the classic style. I didn't even know you could make enamel pins like that. I thought they had to be like standard and stuff, but they were so cool. And then So I'm gonna go back to what we were doing that day because we were on 2 events that day. And what ended up happening was that I went back home and I wanted to wear my stuff like for the next coming days because I have hoodies and stuff, but I kind of wanted to build my outfits and stuff. And I realized I forgot to look at the sizes of the Kirby hoodie and the Pikmin sweater. And the Pikmin sweater looks like a crop top, and the Kirby hoodie couldn't get over my boobs because it was, what is it? The Pikmin sweater was a size medium, and the Kirby hoodie was a size small. I somehow, because I was so excited to buy everything, didn't check any of the sizes. So it's like now I'm stuck with 2 things of clothes that I probably have to give to somebody else in my family that actually fits those sizes because I'm really sad. I was so sad, bro. I spent all this money and I can't even take it back because one of my family members got to my receipt and I can't find it. Put them on a child. They really are. That's unfortunate. Can't you go back for an exchange? Nope. Number 1, I can't transport myself. Number 2, somebody in my family grabbed my receipt and they got a hold of it. I know which one who did it. But I can't do anything about it. Once they grab the receipt, it's all game over. They never come back from the ether ever again. But they're cute. If anything, I think the medium one, the medium Pikmin shirt, again, it's like a medium size, so I can like wear it as like a crop top and probably like put a t-shirt under it. Like a long sleeve under it to like pass it off as like a crop top type of sweater without actually being a crop top sweater. But it makes me sad a little bit because I really like the Pikmin sweater. I like the Pikmin sweater and the Kirby hoodie. And it sucks too because what happened was I was trying to go after a bunch of multicolor like sweatshirts and stuff like that because that's one of the few clothes I can wear that doesn't make my boobs look like it doesn't make my boobs like stand out as much because I don't really care that people stare, but I just don't like, it's one of the clothes I can also wear around the house without having to put on a bra in the first place. And so I was like, dang. Oh, I kind of lucked out on the Roost hoodie though. I lucked out on the Roost hoodie though, and I got myself a sweater, a Mario Bros sweater, so it wasn't all at a loss. 3 out of the 5 clothes that I did get do still fit me. It sucks, but I didn't find out also until like 2 or 3 days later when I put them on. Did you not take a picture of your receipt? No, because I don't take pictures of my receipts. It sucks. Why not? Because I used to have a family member who used to do the whole like keeping receipts and stuff like that. And then when they became an ex-family member, I stopped doing that because I just hate doing that now. Sometimes I still do it in a way, but not as much as I used to. And like I said, one of my family members grabbed and snagged my receipt. And once they specifically grab it, that thing gets disappeared to the ether. So even if I wanted to, oops. And so, what is it? Going back around to the day out with my sister, there were 2 things that we were going to do. And the Nintendo store was actually her idea because I had long since forgotten about that. Because again, she was trying to plan that like ahead of time last year. And what ended up happening was that she came up to me and was like, hey, they're hosting a manga exhibit. And I'm like, there's a manga exhibit? Where? And she's like, oh, hey, like San Francisco's hosting this manga exhibit. And that's one of the reasons why we had to do like the couple of days like visit, because it was like a multi-day thing. And so what ended up happening is we went to the art of manga. When I say that was probably my first, because like we've been to museums, but the last museum visit I ever went to was like a kids museum, so it was like super long time ago. And oh my gosh, it was so much fun, dudes. She was super excited because she knows I like that type of stuff, but to see her face like light up and see all these authors and like genuinely take pictures of this stuff was really, really cool to see. I was excited because there were so many authors, and there were some authors I recognized and some authors I didn't recognize, and some authors I didn't know that would be there, and some of them that I was like, I didn't even know they could even get an exhibit. I kind of thought they were more low-key, but it kind of makes sense why they would do that. It was huge and small, and yet huge at the same time. I got a book of the art of manga, of all the stuff that was there that had everything, because I was so excited. It was so cool. So the art of manga was basically the history of different manga throughout the years. So this was stuff dating back to like the end of World War II. And they had have you ever been to the Smithsonian museums? I told you I went to a kid museum, which means I went to my local museum. The only place we've ever gone that is farther than where I've ever been in my life was the aquarium. I'm not gonna say which aquarium, but we went to an aquarium, and it was somebody who developed car sickness over the years. Not fun. Not fun. Not fun. What ended up happening was it was just a really cool exhibition. So again, there was like authors from like World War, like end of World War II and stuff like that. And it was like, I didn't recognize any of them, but it was like really cool seeing like, cause it wasn't that they just had like pictures of everybody's like menu of like the manga panels and stuff. They had like the original like rough drafts and stuff, like the original like line art and stuff, and like the drafts and everything of like, oh, like what is it? There was a Rumiko Takahashi room that spanned like, I think like, it was like, Rumiko's room was like huge, and there were like a couple of glass like panels that had like a lot of her like rough drafts and how she would panel things. And then I had to like explain to my sister like, oh, like this is Inuyasha, and like there was another guy there who was also curious. When I say that manga was tiny, bro, they had like an original Inuyasha volume. The original Inuyasha volumes were tiny, like tiny, like little black book tiny. Like, what is it? Like when I say, think of a manga, and then think of like 2/3 of that. That's how I could like describe like what 2/3 or 2/4 of the size of manga today. That's how small they are. I was so shocked, bro. And it was just a volume, and I'm just like, whoa, that's so tiny, bro. I can't even imagine holding something like that. But I guess I've like seen some Japanese people, like in real life, and some of them are like like this one old lady I remember seeing, she was really tiny, like compared to me at least. And I'm like, man, that's so cool. And what ended up happening was that we just went from room to room. One manga I did not expect to be in there in the exhibition was that one manga series about the two dads and their daughter, the gay one. I'm saying it like that on purpose. But what is it? It was the manga about the two dads and their daughter, and it was because they had like a section on like how, what is it? I don't remember the author. I did not know. Number one, I thought the author was a woman, but it turns out it was a guy, and apparently he was a bara artist. He was a bara artist the whole time, and I was like, whoa. I didn't know that. I didn't even know there were men that were bara artists. But you know what? You know what? More power to you, bro. For those that don't know, bara is just yaoi, but the guys are buff. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was so cool. What is it? So, what is it? They had, what is it? So the Rumiko Takahashi room was super big. And then, of course, we kept traveling from room to room. What is it? One of the rooms was the author of the Roman one, where the guy falls into the hot spring and travels to modern day Japan. That person had their own like gallery, and I was shocked about that because I thought it was like just a meme and stuff. Gengora Tagame. What is it? Gengora Tagame. What is it? Gengora Tagame. Gengora Tagame. Gengora Tagame. Gengoro Tagame. Yes, this guy, Gengoro Tagame. Yeah, no, he's just straight up a bara artist. It was so weird because I don't really hang around yaoi and bara and stuff like that, but it was actually like really cool because I was just like, you know what? More power to you, bro. If you like drawing buff men, you like drawing buff men. He looked really cool too. It was just really cool seeing his work and stuff, and I was like, I don't know how to feel because I didn't think the series was like super popular. But I guess if anybody, listen, if you see something that you know is peak, might as well include it in your exhibition to show variety and stuff. After all, because there was like another author that was also like a yaoi artist too. You might as well show all anime history instead of just like the popular one. Because there was a One Piece room, but before you got to the One Piece room, you saw all the other sections, which was Rumiko. So the like shonen section, not even like, it wasn't even like demographic, but it was like just there was just so much. Curious camera, but have you read the manga Thigh High School? Thigh High School. I've never heard of that before. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Thigh High School. No, but I've seen this before. It's been so freaking long. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's been so many years since I saw that. Oh my gosh. Oh, what is it? I want to get back on track so I don't forget, because I don't want to forget like on Tuesday. And so there was just so many authors. The one author that really sparked my interest in them was the author of this one manga called Land. I don't know anything about the author, but she was on the front of the exhibition building, and the way she drew the eyes. The one thing I love about anime that's always caught my attention for years is the way mangaka draw eyes in this variety way of not even just the standard shoujo or shonen style, but just the eyes and how they can like captivate, and the eyes just look so beautiful. I wanted to get a poster, but the poster also had creepy monsters on it and I couldn't do it, but I got the book anyway, so I still have technically the artwork. And I want to look at the author's other stuff later. But, there was, what is it? They also had a Junji Ito section. It was a tiny section. So certain mangaka that they wanted to show, but couldn't fit it into the entire exhibition hall, they would give like a tiny hallway to in between specific mangaka. So going in between the Rumiko Takahashi room, you would find the Junji Ito section, but they can't show Junji Ito because if they show Junji Ito, you can't bring your kids here. Because the way the museum, the way the exhibition was, it clearly tackled adult stuff, but it did not display like the explicit adult stuff. Because obviously, like, people know that manga attracts kids. A lot of people did bring their kids. But they did have a Junji Ito art book that you could buy in like the gift shop and stuff like that, because they had their own section that was actually kind of full, decently full, that had just the like anime stuff. They did have like the art book of Junji Ito for sale. So no, yo, no. They only put up the least gory image of Junji Ito up. No gore. Which is kind of weird, because I thought they would have probably done the Hello Kitty one, but I wouldn't be surprised, since that's probably what they had, since turns out, from what I found out, Lumi also went to an event like that, so it's like a traveling type of thing. And we just so happened to like finally got lucky, and we're like, oh, we gotta like tour this for like a while, and so we were so freaking happy. My sister was going around taking photos of everything. She was just so fascinated by this stuff, and I was so happy, but I was so happy I wanted to move forward as quickly as possible, because the final day we were there, they were like, all right, pack it up, bros, go away, closing time is soon. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. And so they couldn't show like anything from Junji Ito without probably it having to be like censored and stuff like that, but there was like a tiny hallway. One of the mangaka I did not expect to be there was Tite Kubo. He, unlike the other hallways, which had one author on one side and another author on the other side, Tite Kubo had a dedicated hallway to himself, and it didn't show all of the Bleach artwork, because I was kind of like, dang, they didn't show more of the Bleach artwork, but he had a dedicated video that showed like a ceremony of, I guess, something that was related to Bleach or that inspired Bleach, and I couldn't watch it all the way, but it did have subtitles, and it was really, really interesting, because there was like artwork on the bottom, and then and then the video playing on the top, and it was just really, really cool. Just like, even though it wasn't a lot of Tite Kubo artwork, it was still there. I'm someone who's not really familiar with Bleach, but really want to like look into it one day, because I watched the first episode of the anime back then but couldn't get into it, so I might just pick up the manga instead. But I respect Tite Kubo, because he's actually a really based author, and he's like, listen, let me tell you about why you have zero reading comprehension, and if you want to make a manga, go make it yourself. So I'm just like, I want to get into Bleach. That'd be so freaking cool. But that'll be a future thing. But otherwise, there was like a whole section. Obviously, you probably know what's coming up. Surprisingly, there was zero Dragon Ball. There was zero Dragon Ball there. I was really, really shocked. Especially with the whole thing with Toriyama. There was not a single stitch of Dragon Ball anywhere. And I guess it was mostly because, you know, everybody knows about Dragon Ball. So, and you can always find his stuff everywhere. But what was there, ironically enough, obviously, was the biggest advertisement of the whole exhibition, the One Piece gallery, which spanned, I think, around 2 or 3 rooms. I started collecting the omnibus volumes for Bleach. Nice! I know omnibuses can be like hard to find with certain Beck series. Rest in peace, Best Boy. Please, Dark Horse reprint. Or Space Boy Volume 3. But basically, The One Piece room was so cool. I had to like explain to my sister because I don't keep up with One Piece as much as like manga per manga chapter, but I do keep up with it via kind of like whatever is floating on that's popular at the time. So I know about stuff like Ivankov, and obviously I love Bon Clay. Bon Clay is my favorite character. I really hope the live action does him justice. Make that boy the most flamboyant drag queen ever. I love Bon Clay. He is our man. Oh my gosh. But basically, I like updated her like this is Ivankov. We actually talked about One Piece a bit because she does have issues that I do kind of feel like are validated. Like the whole thing with like Usopp and everything, which to be fair, she does have a point with some of it that I have some issues with it too, but I don't really care as much, but I do understand her points with it. Oh my gosh. And we saw like a ton of illustrations. I think some of my favorite ones were like the monochrome colored ones. There were some One Piece illustrations I had no idea about. Like I never knew like Oda did so many like tech related like One Piece drawings. Like there was an orange and blue and black one that was really, really cool. There was some illustrations with Nico Robin. Oh my gosh, it was just so cool seeing all this artwork. Cause I like I said, I like One Piece, but I never knew like Oda drew so much like monthly art for One Piece to span so many exhibition rooms. I was just like, wow. Cause you gotta remember, like Oda's been drawing forever. He's been drawing One Piece forever. And in a lot of ways, I kind of feel down a lot because I'm like, I don't feel like I could ever draw as much as a lot of these artists. And I don't know how to draw every day or do how Oda and all these manga could do. But it's like, you know what? When you're drawing for over 30 years, you're kind of gonna get better at drawing, you know? And it made me feel really happy just to see that, like, it was just really freaking cool. It was just really freaking cool seeing the exhibition and everything. One author that I did not expect to have an exhibition room, ironically enough, it was the final one and I didn't recognize it at first until I saw the character and I was like, where did you come from? But I feel like I know what it was because I was slightly spoiled by the gift shop, but I could tell that it was there. It was the character, it was the mangaka of Osamatsu-kun. Of course, Osamatsu-san now. But I was so shocked because I was expecting more Osamatsu-kun, but it was just trippy. Like all his stuff was super trippy. Like when I say it was trippy, it was like graffiti. That's how weird the art was. And I was like, I didn't even know someone could make art like this. Like I never expected graffiti style art for Osamatsu-kun. And it was just weird, but I liked it. And done. Nice. Tax away. But yeah, no, the exhibition was so freaking cool. It helps that I'm single. Ain't that the truth? Oh my gosh, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun. It was so much fun, like talking with my sister. Ironically enough, I talked about like what was going on in VTubing with my sister as we were like driving around and talking about stuff, just relaxing and chilling and stuff, and all the stupid drama and all the things that we wanted to do. And then on the way back, my sister was teaching me about like the rules of the road and how to drive and stuff, because I want to like do that, because I need to, because I'm an adult now and I need to learn if I want to do all the cool stuff I want to do, like going on, like what is it, because like apparently the place had like a tea ceremony thing. It was like a tea ceremony place in like the back of the museum, and I'm like, ooh, maybe like if I have my own like a couple day trip, like a 3-day trip, like do that and like stare at the museum, like pay for museum trips and blah 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 blah, and like, it was just so freaking, it was just so cool, guys. It was just so cool just spending time with her and stuff. And we all just had fun and stuff. And we, ironically enough, by the end, we just both got to a Chipotle and just ate. We just ate. And then we drove home. And then I had to immediately hop in.
Oh, I had to immediately hop on stream because Mizu was on.
We'll say, so what I did get from the exhibition, because again, we were there for the final day, they had to kick us out immediately. They kicked us out immediately as soon as we were finally done with walking through everything. And I bought a book of what the exhibition had showed, along with the poster of Jolene Cujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, because for some reason I forgot to mention that there was a JoJo exhibit.
Oh my gosh, I had to show my sister one of the original what JoJo looked like before and now.
She loved the stuff with Jolene and Giorno. And the one thing I did not like about the exhibit is that certain series had a poster blown out that you could take with you. But the thing is some posters of the artwork that you saw were blown out. And then some of the stuff, the posters that were there, were just postcards. The one artwork I loved was the Giorno Giovanni one. It looked gorgeous. But the one they blew up was the Jolene Cujo one. And I liked the Cujo one, but I really liked the Giorno one. And the Giorno one was relegated to a postcard. Ugh. And it sucked so badly. I was so upset. But because I like Araki's artwork anyway, I got the Jolene Cujo one. I got the Cujo one. It made me happy. And of course I got the book of the exhibition. We wanted to try out the gachapon machines, but because it was closing, I think they shut down the pay machines to turn into coins, which were a ripoff anyway, because it was like $10. What is it? It was like $3 for one coin. $3 for one coin, bro. Toru Love? Toru Love? What? Diego Brando, my beloved. Whoa. Funnily enough, what is it? They didn't show anything from like, I think they was a Jolene villain. Oh, they didn't. I think I know they had like pictures of Dio. They didn't show really any of the villains outside of Dio and original artwork. They didn't have like the villains and all that type of stuff. It was just mostly Dio. Like, was it manga panel? Was it Dio? Obviously, all the JoJo's up to, I think, Jolene. So they had every JoJo up to part 8. But they did not have anything for, like, the new JoJo. The one for, I don't have anything for the new JoJo. But yeah, so we tried to go for the little machines, the capsule machines. Again, $3 for one coin. And then we were like, you know what? Screw it. The worst part is that there was no Wi-Fi. There was freaking no Wi-Fi. There was freaking no Wi-Fi in that museum. And so my sister was like, oh yeah, thankfully she freaking paid. And I was so embarrassed. I was so freaking embarrassed, bro. I was so freaking embarrassed. But she was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, when we get out, I'll pay. And she's like, sure you will. She was like, nah, this is my gift to you. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was so happy with her. She was so sweet. Again, I love my sister so much, guys. I love her so much. She's my best friend. We got Chipotle, and then we headed home, and then we said our goodbyes, and then we got on stream immediately to do the anime audits and stuff, and that's why I was late to anime audit 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh! It was one of because like I said, I don't usually get out a lot, mostly because like I work from home. I do all like my stuff. Like I don't really go out. I can't really go out because I just got so many responsibilities here. When I say that was probably the best day ever in a long while. That was the best day ever in a long freaking while. And I was so happy because when I said, like I said, January was full of. There's a lot of family lore. There's a lot of family lore that I'm never gonna tell you guys. But January was kind of a sucky way to start the year, and a good way to start the year, but sucky. And it was, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I didn't take a picture of a lot. Again, I'm not really a picture type of person. I love just soaking in the moment. And I was just so happy. It was just so freaking fun. I can't even imagine. It was just so fun. And I was so happy my sister was having fun too. Because she's been getting into anime more and more recently. What is it? Like I told you guys, she watched Made in Abyss. I didn't think she would like something like that. But she's been liking more like grotesque body horror type stuff recently. And I'm just like, huh. I don't know how. And I don't know why you guys are changing. But we have been shaking up the past couple of years. I'm interested. It's just interesting seeing like my family just finding things they like to do. Because it didn't used to be that way. And now, like back then, it was like, what is it? Back then, it was just like God and only God. And now it's God is still here, and I can live a life because. Like as my mom once said, because she's good at like she's the more, at least to me, she's the more like Christian spiritual one in the house because she grew up like that, and she's more knowledgeable and more wise than me and my sister, and we know she is because she is like helped us with so much stuff. First natural, then spiritual. Not to forget one or the other, but to remember to handle your responsibilities right here, right now, before you like do the Bible and take your stuff to the Lord. But please remember, you gotta live a life outside of that too. There's just so it's life. Life. Oh my gosh! But this was so much fun. This was so much fun. It was so cool. January was so. It was so hectic, but that was such a good way to like just close out January and stuff. And then my period came immediately afterwards. Ironically enough, it came out during the whole debate of should you be tracking your VTuber's period? Amazing. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. It was so much fun and so hectic. It was so. Oh wow. Yes, the timing couldn't have been more impeccable. Like, I don't really care. Sometimes I'll just say, yeah, no, I went out because I couldn't stream today because I'm having a woman moment. But I'm not gonna say like period all the time because eventually that just sounds gross. I don't really care though. I just know that some of you guys are probably like eating and stuff, and the last thing you want to hear is like, hey guys, I came back because the blood river came. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that was one of the cool things that happened in January during my break and stuff. Oh my gosh. It was so freaking cool just seeing that aspect. And they had little blurbs too, like talking about the history and like just, I think the weirdest one is they didn't have Astro Boy, and they didn't have Osamu Tezuka, and they didn't have Toriyama, and I was kind of shocked about that, but again, it was likely just to highlight some of the smaller known authors and stuff, because again, Rumiko Takahashi had like 2 rooms, and it was really, really good. And again, like, it makes sense, like, One Piece and stuff, and again, probably some, like, Right stuff. Ironically enough, along with the period tracker thing, that was also during the manga piracy stuff. And so in big bold letters, and as soon as you walked into the exhibition hall, it was sponsored by Viz Media. And I immediately told my sister to pirate. Because I am shameless.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. It was so much fun. And then I showed everything to my mom and stuff. It was my mom and my family and everyone. We showed everything to everyone. My sister got less stuff than me, but she got the JoJolion poster than me, and she kind of made the same like remark of, I wish they would have like made posters of like all the art, but I know why they didn't do it, because it would have been too much, and blah 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 blah. But you have all these mangaka here. I kind of want a big gigantic life-size poster of the Giorno Giovanni one. It's all I'm saying. It's all I'm saying. But it was so freaking cool. I was so happy. And then 2 or 3 days later, my Pikmin shirt and my Kirby shirt didn't fit. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it was super fun. It was super fun. I can't believe I went on nearly 2 hours talking about myself. Embarrassing! I know, but I had fun. I had fun. Like I said, I don't usually go out, so when you hear me excited for stories like this, know my excitement is really genuine. Like, people always talk about how VTubers can do this, that, or the other. Some circumstances are different. Some circumstances are different from one another. I'm trying to, don't worry, I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to not be a sedentary. I won't be a sedentary anymore. Who will fund your newer sweaters that fit? Listen, I had the money. I just didn't check the size tags, bro. Which now I know to check the tags, because I thought I was picking up stuff that was in the size tags, which turns out I was. But when we got to the second floor of the Nintendo store, I got too overwhelmed and excited. I will say though, there was a Splatoon section, and ironically enough, can I be real with you? A lot of the clothes in the Splatoon section actually sucked. I was so shocked. The Mario and the Animal Crossing clothes, sucked. Weirdly enough, they were what is it? No, the Animal Crossing and Mario stuff were really good looking, but the Splatoon stuff was so dull outside of the plush. What are you doing? What are you eating? What is that? What is that? What's wrong? Is this mesh? Okay, it's mesh. Mesh for the bags. Okay. Did you just pee on the mat? It's a good thing I cleaned up my desk earlier and left the Clorox wipes here. Oh my gosh. I'll get up that mess later, but I'm gonna wipe my hands off first. Clothes that only fit cephalopods. No, okay. To be like specific, the Mario clothes and the Animal Crossing clothes were still in color for what the series theme was, but they were brighter, more cheerier, more livelier, and it made me so invested. But the Splatoon clothes were all variations of black, gray, and light gray, which is weird because in Splatoon you have all these colorful styles and stuff, and I was kind of like, I guess. The only colorful things there, ironically enough, were the plushies. And I wanted a plushie, but like not really, so I didn't grab a plushie because I didn't want to spend too much, which, looking back, I probably should have. Maybe I would have looked at the price tag on my other stuff and the sizes. But I'm just like, it was just weird because, again, same thing with the Zelda section too. Surprisingly, despite Zelda being a colorful franchise, that also suffered from black and gray syndrome. And I'm just like, black and gray syndrome, and I'm just like, nothing here looks cool. The only thing that looked cool were the hearts. So they had like little like lamps and all their like trinkets and stuff like that from Zelda. And I'm just like, I mean, these are cool, but they're not like exciting to look at or wear. And keep in mind, I already have like gray or like dull colored hoodies. That's why I wanted a blue Kirby hoodie. That's one of the reasons why I grabbed the Kirby hoodie, because I was aiming to find a blue hoodie. And then because I want more colorful clothes in my wardrobe. Because even though most of my clothes in middle school don't fit me anymore, my middle school clothes were colorful, and then I didn't notice throughout the years I was getting more blacker and blacker clothing because of a lot of stuff that I found out. Oh yeah, I'm depressed. So yeah, and so I was kind of like, I kind of expected more color from these franchises outside of just Mario and Animal Crossing and Kirby. There was a Metroid section. It's really tiny though. It got acknowledged, I guess. You think there would be at least a green shirt for Zelda clothes? I think there maybe was, but it was so consumed with Breath of the Wild Black, to be more specific. Which is really weird, because even Breath of the Wild is more colorful with its more somber atmosphere. There was just so much black in those sections. Blacks and grays and stuff. Which again, makes sense to a degree, but I kind of expected there to be more. There was a white hoodie for Animal Crossing too, but we didn't want to risk it because white, really? A white hoodie? But I did get the Mario sweater vest. I'm probably gonna wear that every once in a while. It's super cute looking. But yeah, I swear you, Akko, and Kirsche have such unique laughs that I could probably tell which is which in a crowded room. Really? I never really considered my laugh unique. But yeah, it was just so like, some franchises I thought would have the cooler clothing did not have the cooler clothing. But Kirby, Mario, and Animal Crossing had the more, like, colorful, cooler clothing. The Kirby section was so freaking adorable, but I couldn't buy enough. I didn't want to buy too much from there. Which, looking back again, regrets were made. And there was, like, a small Pikmin section, too. It was really cool. It was really cute. Not cute enough to buy, but cute. You think it's just, it was so cool. And can I be real with you, I was shocked about? There were like bodyguards. I'm serious. There were bodyguards in the Nintendo store. I almost forgot to mention that. Because I mentioned this to my mom too. When I say they were bodyguards, I mean they look straight up like bouncers. Like, I was kind of scared a little bit. I'm like, are you saying that people are being so disruptive in Nintendo stores or trying to sneak and steal and whatever that you gotta put up like bodyguards? And these guys weren't like giant bouncer big, but they were like decently sized. Like you could tell from the looks in their eyes that they could tackle you and take you out at any time. Like, they were in full dress suit attire, and I was kind of like, well, I feel safe. And it was so clean too. It was so freaking clean and bright and white. Like, you could get lost in it. Like, if the store had been any bigger, I'm serious, if the store had been any bigger, you wouldn't be able to tell night and day like a Costco. That's how big that's how in your face like Nintendo it was. That's how probably you would have wanted to stay. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in the future they built a third floor. I choked on my spit.
Not surprised, especially in the age of public live streams. No, for real. Like, when I say that it was like, again, the looks in their eyes was like, I don't want to stare at you in the eyes, but I can tell you're doing a really good job by how you're just walking around in a way that doesn't scream intimidating, but I know someone's not gonna pull anything. Oh my gosh. And they had a guy open the door and everything. But again, it was just it was so freaking cool. And the like attendants were also really cool too. You can tell the attendants there, the store owners were like, yeah, you were clearly prompt on how to like get someone to buy something, which I kind of felt bad a little bit because while one of the guys, because it was this one store guy, he was like, I heard you like Kirby, and he was explaining all of Kirby Air Ride to us. Again, we could tell, but every time he kept explaining, I kept darting my eyes over to the Kirby enamel pins, and I was like, I'm trying to listen to his explanation, and I'm like, the Kirby cooking enamel pin, the Kirby cooking enamel pin, and the one that looks like the one on the GBA. And I was like, oh, and now I had to like say sorry. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm listening to you, but I just wanted the enamel pins as we were talking. I didn't want to walk away at all. Oh my gosh, what I'm saying is that if you go to the Nintendo store, come with a decent chunk of cash, because I knew I was gonna spend, but I didn't know I was gonna spend like that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was so freaky. It was just such an amazing experience. I hope to go again. Maybe actually go to the one in New York, because I want to go to the one in New York one day. Because, again, it's the original. It has the Golf 4 Game Boy. I want to see the Golf 4 Game Boy before the battery dies. It was so exciting. I was so... I was so excited. I was so happy. It was just such a good day. It was such a good day. It was just a fun trip with my sister. I had so much fun. And I keep going on and saying it over and over again, but I had so much fun. And I'm sorry, I'm like going on and on and on about myself again. Oh my gosh. But what are you guys doing? Did you just drag the bed across from one? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah! You want the kitchen? Did you guys stop fighting each other? You guys stop fighting each other? You guys stop fighting each other? Yeah? 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 Glad you have a good time. Yeah, so, let's bring up the biggest elephant in the room. So like I said, a lot of things happened in January. That was a good trip, but there was a lot of chaotic stuff that happened in between. Let's just say, after I got back from my trip with my sister, my mom ends up sending me a picture. And, she sends me a picture, and a couple of months ago, she had gotten this fake dog to put into like the corner of her office area. And I was like, you know what? Oh, that's really cute. I love that so much. Blah 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 blah. And we were like, as if we're gonna get another dog. She sent me a picture, and I was like, oh, they got another fake dog. And my mom's like, no, this is for the office. And I was like, okay, fake dog. And then her husband is like, no, it's real. And I'm like, what do you mean real? So, they get back home. As I'm on, this is one of the reasons why I left for so long during that anime audit. I got up, I went downstairs, I told them about how I had a good time, and then they show me a kennel with a
Sheepoo puppy. And I'm like, we have another dog? Like, you're for real? It's not a fake? And she looks at me like, eh? And I'm not gonna say how many, but we have enough dogs. We have enough. So to add another puppy on top of it was just and I was just like, okay, you know what? All right, we got a tiny, we have another puppy, but okay. This is getting out of hand, and now there's 2 of them. Oh, that's even better. So a couple days after that, we're getting used to the new puppy. My mom shows me another dog during a different day. And I look at her and I'm like, we have another dog? And this dog, I'm not kidding, I thought this dog was genuinely fake. When I say this dog, what is it? Okay, so Barry is the dog we got. Patricia looks straight out like she was from AI. Patricia looks like she's straight out of an AI photo. I kept looking at her for like the entire night. I thought dogs like that were fake. They had like, she was blonde, had a super curly, perfectly dipped toes. I was like, what? I can't believe a dog like this exists. She looks so fake. I was so confused. She likes to fight though. I'm like, what do you mean? We not 2 of them now. It's because Barry got lonely, and we can't put him with the other dogs because the other dogs are nice to us, and then they like to initiate the newcomers. Oh, my friend was able to get a stray dog from the pound. The pound did not tell her she was pregnant. Yeah, that sounds about right. I was just like, can we, you know what's funny? I thought it was my mom's husband's idea. And he was like, why would it be my idea? Because he's the dog lover, but he's like, I also gotta take care of them. Because so everybody takes care of the dogs, but he is the one that does like he's the really good one. You know what I mean? Like everyone does their part, you feed them and you do that, but he's like the one, he and my sister are the ones that like do like all the tags and all that stuff because they're technically my mom's and my sister's and his dogs. They're my dogs, but they're not my dogs. The other dogs are like that fun uncle that riles up the kids. Oh no. My dog, okay, so the dogs, ever since they were young, they hate people, except for the people that, get used to their presence. So we got, the ones we've had since we were like, $11. So they're old dogs, they're old people now, and we got some of their children. Because we were like, we can't give them away. Back in the day, when me and my sister are like, we can't spade and neuter them. What if they spade and neutered us? Now that we're adults, we're like, spade and neuter them. Spade them now. Spade and neuter them now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so funny. Oh my god. It's so funny. They're all cute little... They're all cute little, there's cute little scamps. Patricia likes to lick and tease a lot. And Barry likes to fight sometimes. Only with Patricia though. He just kind of sits and stares at everybody.
Do it now before it's too late. Yeah, no, they hate people. One memory I have that happened was that back in the day, around the time where the dad of everyone, the first dog we got, we'll call him A. A hated people so badly, but he wouldn't like bite them on first contact with some of the people. One time he walked up to our babysitter, looked at her dead in the eye, looked down at her leg and insta-peed on her. And we just were shocked. Like, it was unprompted too. You know brother got a whooping. The dogs weren't even spared from a whooping, bro. We didn't like beat them. People that do stuff like that to dogs are monsters. We're like, brother, why? Oh, do it now before it's too late. No, don't worry. We have them long since neutered and spayed for a long while. And we don't get into the reasons why for a long time. So to disrespect another level. Bro, this was when he was a baby too. It was like, we didn't even know you could be what is it? We knew that dogs had feelings too. One of the funniest stories my mom ever told us that I genuinely believe, because he does have an attitude, was back when he was a baby. My mom called him over because he did something bad, and he literally turned around and rolled his eyes and walked away. Oh, this is when he was a baby too. He's always been like that. He's chilled out in recent years and stuff. His bark is not as bad as it used to be, because he used to bark all the time, and we told him if he didn't stop barking, he would hurt his throat. Guess what? He didn't stop barking. He can't bark as loud as he used to. That dog is like that old grumpy grandpa that hates everyone except for a few people. And now he's more properly trained and stuff like that, and he tolerates people now. He still wanders off on his own, and he ignores us sometimes. He mostly loves my mom and my sister. We almost like, come back over here, and he just keeps walking away. Oh my gosh. Oh man, it's so funny. But other than that, oh my gosh, other than that, that was pretty fun. Other than that, I guess the only other thing that's happened in January that technically I've been starting since February is, like I said last time, I'm planning something special for the past couple years, because it's time. We've upgraded our setup, but I think it's time to really upgrade. But that's not gonna be for a hot minute. Now, no, it's not gonna be the 2.0 model, mostly because I haven't touched it in finish it off. But we are going to see some upgrades in the future and stuff. I've been really thinking about it, because I thought about I was looking back at my stuff, right? And I realized for I guess due to my mindset change. Hold up. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm excited to show you guys. I realized for a lot, I was kind of dull with some of my ideas, because I liked the room that we had when I first came up with it. But then I realized, wow, this room kind of is not really all that impressive. And then I also wanted to advance my art skills too. Some of the items that I've made, I'm really happy about. I've improved so much of my art skills. Can I be real with you? I've improved so much of my art skills in the past couple of years. I am kind of shocked, but I'm really happy with how everything is turning out. I'm still wrapping up and tying up a few loose ends here and there. And while again the model's not gonna be ready for a hot minute, because again I gotta go out of my way to properly learn how to rig, but in order to properly learn how to rig, I have to rig. I'm gonna be really excited to show you guys that in the future. I worked with some really cool people to like fix this, and we have a new, I'm not gonna say who's doing it, but we have a new custom background check. We have a new custom background check and stuff. I'm so happy. I'm thinking of most likely changing the title screen too, but it's gonna take a little bit because I want to change the I want to change a couple things, not everything, but kind of one by one, if that makes any sense. Almost finished the fifth Percy Jackson book. I don't know why I had a lisp right there. A lisp. But cool. I'm not super familiar with Percy Jackson, but I do know about the movie Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. Of course I bring up the mainstream thing. But yeah, just pretty much just to wrap it up. I think wrapping it up because we're getting close and my throat is reaching that limit. I'm really happy. I'm definitely back with streaming. Can I be real with you? I was kind of dreading it because I was like, man, I'm having so much fun out here. I don't think I want to stream anymore. I was enjoying my break a little bit too much. But it also made me realize I think I'm gonna have to schedule out my streams a lot better, because even though I still do want to do 3 times a week, I can't force it like last year and what I used to, because I used to force it a lot because I'm like, I gotta do 3 days a week, I gotta show up weekly, and then it resulted in the crash and burnout and month-long hiatuses of last year, when really I could have just took my time with it. Oops. So yeah, that's just usually how it goes. That's how it goes. Yo. That's just how it be. Otherwise, thank you guys for listening to me. I think that's a good place to stop. Oh my gosh, I can't tell if I got too personal on stream, or if I didn't, or if I got too excited and all that type of stuff. I'm so thank you guys for listening to me. I feel. Oh my gosh. But otherwise, tomorrow, I'm gonna show you guys Miles Morales. Oh, I forgot! The N-Binted stuff! You know what? We might as well hop onto the N-Binted stuff for tonight. Oh my gosh. Now, I need to see this. That's the one thing I've been doing also on break, just listening to more Under the Tea. Maybe I should have pushed this stream back so that I can listen to Under the Tea. Who knows? I'm kidding. No worries. I know you guys like come to stream to like listen to me and stuff like that. But I want to always be careful because I don't want it to like come off as like bragging and stuff, because I'm super self-conscious about stuff like that. Because I don't want to get to the point where I get so big, I'm just like, yeah guys, check out my Lamborghini. Check out this $500 Mario gold statue I got. I don't want to get like that. It's so weird, you know? But thank you all for coming to today's stream. Even though I know like you guys are probably gonna be like, Kendra, you're not like that, but still I always want to like keep that stuff in check, because if you don't keep that stuff in check, you go in ego, and once you go in ego, it takes a lot to bring down someone like that. You know, you gotta make him have a wake-up call, and I don't want that. So we'll be doing N-Binted. On Under the Tea. And as for Twitch, we will be doing, what is it, Leaflet? Nah, not Leaflet this time. Let's see, is that? You know what, I'm not even gonna ask. Ooh!
Oh, don't worry, Kendra. We'll roast you if you get an ego. Please do. Listen, the one thing I don't have is a poker face. You're gonna know if I'm freaking out genuinely and trying to hide and blah 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 blah. Y'all saw how I do under pressure. I want to do Animadia, but it's been a while since we've rated Max VT. Max Forge, our longtime supporter, a longtime friend. I don't know why I said it like that. But we'll be rating Max. Go show Max some love and support. I've been always, in January, I was trying to hop on with the charity stream, which is why some of you briefly saw a charity stream. Gartic phone wouldn't work for me for hours. And then I finally got it working. And then everything just decided to break on me at the last minute, so I couldn't participate in the charity. And I'm like, Max, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to avoid you. I want to spend time with you instead of not talking as often with you, because I've been like so busy. I've like had time like trying to make like time for like Lumber and like anime audits and everything. And then it's like trying to understand like how to like plan friend stuff, because this is like, can I be real with you, the past like year and a half from last year up till now, I've been like not even just trying to understand how to like make friends and stuff like that, and it's like a lot easier than I thought, and I'm like trying to balance all the friend groups and all the friends and everything, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? Oh my gosh, I'm just happy for what 2026 has in store, and I want to improve. I have a cover that's coming out, but I'm also nervous to record because I'm getting cold feet again, but I don't want it to be like last time with Living Millennium, where a Living Millennium comes out and it was supposed to come out in March and then comes out all the way in like December. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get this thing done. Otherwise, by the way, Ken, did you know that you smile when you're trying hard to keep a secret? Yes. Yup. I'm actually, so funnily enough, I can keep a secret. I'm actually really good at keeping secrets. Unless I just am like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna say it. But I don't have a good poker face. It's just easy to keep a secret when you're like, I know some people, even in VTubing, I'm just like, oh, I might comment on it, I might not. but I shall see you all next time. Thank you all for coming to today's stream. I'll see you all tomorrow to show you the I guess pseudo anime audit with Royan and Mizu, but it's not gonna be anime. It's just Marvel being cringe about black people. Also, the one thing I'm definitely gonna try and do is tone down when I talk about anything regarding black issues on his channel and on my channel, because even though I'm not passionate, it's because I know about information where I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense, and I just ramble about it, and I know for some, partially, like, sometimes you want to explain it, but the problem is that some topics I'm like, okay, you want to know about it and it's cool info, but sometimes it's kind of uncomfortable, like how it is, and I only want to really reserve that for, say, like the tier list, which, like I said, tier lists are every other month. It's just last year was just back-to-back nonsense. Thank you for the stream. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I shall see you all next time. Kendrillion. Oh. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.